couldn't take it. I said I wasn't going to touch this because we don't have ownership of it, but we potentially do have a cracked bore. I went ahead and broke it down, and I gambled. I only have one of the $120 cracked head repair kit, and it's not real invasive for me. I mean, I'll tear right down into this real quick. We have one kit, so let's just see. I pulled one injector. I have a 12% chance of picking that correctly. If that is the one that's leaking, we're gonna put this kit in. It's gonna have to sit tonight, and then I am not going to pull any other injectors to test. I only have one kit anyways. Odds are pretty good that there's only one cracked bore. I've seen a couple of them that have two cracked bores, but most of the time it's just one. So let's gamble, and let's see what the hell. Let's see if, I mean, honestly, I really do feel that it's probably number 5, but 3 is the easier one. So, because every time we take one out, we got to buy a set of injector O-rings. Not that it's a big deal, it's 10 bucks a piece, but I don't want to aimlessly take them out. I mean, I don't feel the need to. Let's get this pressurized with number 3. Here's how we did it. You run a power washer inside of the degas bottle. We power washed it. Go ahead and do that. With the block drains open, everything's open. It's the best way to rinse it before you actually tear the job apart. And then you have to get underneath and put the block heater back in, put the block drain, and put the petcock in, because you need the system sealed, but you need it with air in it. Because if there's coolant in it, and we put this plunger down in the injector bore, fill it with WD-40, if it pushes liquid out, it won't make any bubbles. So we need air inside of the cooling system so that this will show bubbles on the leaking injector. We're like a couple seconds away from testing. Let's just do it. Okay, so this is our setup here. We can pressurize. This gauge is not entirely, it's been beat up bad, so it's showing 7 pounds. Right there at even, and I can cover this and see where we're at. Okay, so 7 is 0. So what is 15 and 7? So 22 is about where we want to pressurize it at. How about that? Pressurized cooling system. Make sure you can feel the upper radiator hose. Where are we going to? 22?
Roughly.
We have the heater core unhooked. So that's how we're gonna hook it up to do it. Let me hook the heater core hose back up, and then we'll go from there. Now that we got the heater core hose on, you can feel the upper radiator hose. That's like your little test. So I want to take it to about, ideally 22 pounds. Number 7 is 0. So that is like maximum. It's not it. So I picked wrong. It would be bubbling in there. Little buster. Means I need to go to number 5. Cost me an injector O-ring kit. Okay, we'll leave that one in, and let's go and pull number 5 out, and we'll turn that down. All right, got our contraption back on. There's still number 3, and we pulled number 5. I'm not seeing nothing yet. There might be a chance it might not even have a crack. Maybe we mistaked it. It was full of fuel though. Nothing. Well, crap. Wouldn't that be funny if they put diesel in it to mess with us? Think they're that smart?
No.
I don't know. That would have been a mean trick. That's a mean trick. You want to mess with your buddy? Go fill his coolant with diesel. He'll tear his whole truck apart just like this and have it completely yeah, it's broke. Mean trick. So the game plan right now is going to be to go ahead and test all of them. So it made a liar out of me. I didn't pick right. These injectors are pretty good though. We put a full set of remans in it back when we built the engine. We're gonna go ahead and pull them all out. It's just O-ring kits for all of them. I tried to skimp by, but of course it's gonna bite us in the butt. So let's tear out number 1 and number 7 and test all 4 of them at the same time. All right, hell with it. We just bought all the injector O-ring kits. This is number 1. Three, 5. Please don't be 7. That's 7. Okay, well, that's 5. 3. And 1. But wait a minute, it's not worth getting in a hurry. So that pretty much concludes us testing this side. Okay, so we're gonna put it back together and go test the other side. After all this work, I could have done an oil cooler by the time I do a full injector job. Probably, pretty close. Damn it. Not to mention that boot was so stuck on there. I don't think that boot has ever been off since we built the truck, built the engine. Because I couldn't get it off of there. Well, I could have, but I didn't want to tear it. Came off the pipe a little better. Just a drag to break those seals, especially when they're stuck and they've been on for years and years. And I took it apart just to test. And now I have to put it back together without having any real operation done. What a drag. Damn it. Let's take a look at the cups. Might as well record. I'm using the phone as my eyes anyways. Sometimes you can see discoloration where the cracks would be.
Driver side apart.
This is not necessarily going to show you a cracked head because well, we'll get down and look in a second. But take all the injectors out, leave the cooling system together, and hook your little regulator with a gauge onto the degas bottle. Let's see how they look. It's 2, 4. Whoa, pretty bubbly in there, but I don't see any moving bubbles. 6. And there's 8. You bastard. We're looking at oil cooler then. Damn, I thought it was fuel. It looked like fuel. You know, I think I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes. Yeah, so that would be the procedure for testing for a cracked head. And what you would hope would be bubbles would come up. Well, you'd hope not, I guess, but not when you got contaminated degas coolant. And I mean, I thought it was fuel. I didn't even near about test it or nothing. We just, so it's oil cooler. Well, maybe. Let's let it sit for another second. That's 6. There's 8. I don't see anything. Well, I mean, I'd much rather do an oil cooler than a cylinder head. I just thought it was fuel. Obviously, I was mistaken. Maybe. Okay, whatever. We're out.